What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm here joined today with Albert. How you doing, mate?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on my Albert Talks podcast earlier, man. It's been a while since I did it, so yeah, it's good. It's a good turnout, man.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. So we're going to talk about some new manager prospects for Arsenal because let's be real, they fucked up again last night.
Yeah.
We're going to get straight into that, mate, straight after this intro. Yeah, welcome back, guys. Hope you're all well. Joined today my colleague Albert. How you doing? Can you tell the guys where they can follow you, mate?
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for having me on, mate, again, as usual. Yeah, Albert JTV, if you don't know already. My Twitter handle's on the screen as you see it, AUMO57. And come and check me out and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, man, cool. Yeah, I was on Albert Street stream earlier, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check that out. Arsenal fucked up again, and Arteta. It's getting a bit like Groundhog Day, really, isn't it? Same players, same tactics, same result. And let's be real, we didn't really expect anything different.
No.
What do you think? Give me your thoughts on the game yesterday, mate. How do you think it went? Obviously not good.
I said to you on my channel that I think for a lot of Arsenal fans, when they saw the lineup, I think that just completely flattened them from the outset, because you look at the bench, and as I said, I think there's probably 3 players on the bench, most definitely, that should have started yesterday. I didn't understand starting Xhaka with El Neni when you're playing at home to Burnley, who have, I think, have worse created chances than us, or less, should I say. Willian starting again.
See, Willian, on Willian, it's the one game I can understand, because Pepe was suspended and Nelson was injured.
Injured again.
Right. But go on, mate. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, injured again. I don't. What's going on at this football club with injuries, man? You know what? More than anything, before I come onto the game again, really, we need long term. We need someone to come in and just rip it up in terms of the fitness and maybe the diets or the nutrition or the training, because it's unacceptable, Ross. Now it's been going on for too long, man. I mean, does anybody know what injury Nelson's got this time?
I mean, he's a young lad as well, isn't it? So
I understand.
I know.
It's not like he's playing a run of games, Ross.
I know. This is the thing, right? People on other streams and that are going, we're unlucky with an injury record. But now I'm thinking, it's not unlucky. If it's our training ground, like Rio Ferdinand said that time, where the ground's really hard and he felt that when he played there for England, or whatever it is, surely they must be looking into it at some point and be going, well, is it the training ground, or is it our training practices and techniques, or are we just buying injury-prone players? I mean, which is it? They've got to be looking into it, surely.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Like I said to you, I think years ago, I'm sure we did. We had the like one of the top fitness guys. I think he was associated with the German national team about maybe 2-3 years ago. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure, but he couldn't fix the problem because it's still going on.
Yeah,
he's definitely not at the club anymore. So yeah, it's mad. But the game yesterday,
maybe we should ask him the training grounds for Watford again.
We should, but yeah, the game, like the first half, I thought, you know what, like I said, we didn't cut Burnley open, but if you're looking at chances, actual chances he's had, Lacazette had 2 very good chances. The first one, he completely missed it.
Yeah.
The second one,
£55 million striker, by the way.
Yeah. The second chance, you can either look at it 2 ways, Ross. You can either look at it and say it's a good save by Nick Pope, or you say it's a bad miss, he should have scored.
Yeah.
There's no in between. We got into. I think the only positive for me in the first half was, I thought, again, predictability wise, we can't help it. The best point of our attack is down our left hand side with Tierney and Saka combining. But other than that, William worked hard, got some good crosses in. Alan Smith did make the point during the match. I don't know if you heard it. He said about he doesn't really buy into the whole, they should be able to get on the end of crosses. Basically, saying either the strikers, making the right runs, or they're not making the right runs, or the crosses are not good enough. But he said he doesn't buy into the whole crosses thing. If you're a striker, I know plenty of strikers that weren't exactly massive aerial ability. Right, he's got some good goals with his head. I.e. Robbie Fowler was pretty decent, for someone of his height.
Yeah.
So I hear Smudge's argument because he was top quality striker in the year. But first half, mate, was 60% possession. But apparently, I think we only had one shot on target. It did say that. Yeah, we had one shot on target. We had 6 in total in the match, but 1 on target in the first half.
Yeah. Jokes, man. Right, we're going to get into some new manager, potential new managers, because let's face it, whether you're Arteta in still, which I find amazingly hard to believe, why you do any more games and expect anything different or not, I think the writing's on the wall for him. I mean, if it's not now, it's a case of when. It's a bit like Emery, really. So we're going to get into 7 new potential managers. Yeah, go on, mate.
No, go on, man. Go on, Cameron. I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm just going to read a couple of comments out. James, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Get Pochettino. Well, fun enough, he's one of the guys we're going to speak about in a second. Yeah,
big up James, man. That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, James is mate. Yeah, we're very loyal, man.
And Abdullah, we need to create chance, player, and finisher. Mate, we need a lot of stuff. Smash the likes up, guys, if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're new. I'm going to get on to some of the people we're going to talk about. So first guy we're going to talk about today is Diego Simeone. What's your thoughts on this guy, Albert?
There's a lot of people that would be happy with him. I wouldn't complain, but it's like I said to you last, I think, when you asked me about him. If we get him, I'm not saying the football would exactly be like it is now, but it wouldn't be pretty to watch, man. And I think Arsenal fans have to be prepared for that. But if it takes it not being pretty to be more resilient and get the right results, then I would rather take that chance than deal with what we're seeing at the moment, mate. So I've got no issue with that if he came.
Yeah. I would love Simeone. I mean, he'd sort our defence out. I think they need to take any of this shit that we've got at the moment. Like players like Xhaka and Bellingham would be binned straight away, which would be like, that'd be like my dream come true. I think them 2 players getting binned. I mean, the fact they're suspended for the next few games has been absolutely brilliant. But I mean, is it realistic? I know we played there as a player at Atletico Madrid, but ultimately, I think money talks. And if we went to Atletico, look, there's 25 million compensation for your manager, and offered him 10 million a season, it'd come, right?
Yeah, you know what would have been interesting? Because let's bear in mind, we only got Lacazette because Atletico was in a transfer ban. It would have been interesting if he'd have gone there to see how he would have done under Simeone.
Yeah.
It'd been interesting, mate.
Yeah, I'd take him in a heartbeat, mate. And if he could bring some of those defenders with him as well, that'd be a fucking touch. I'm not gonna lie.
A Diego Godin, like 15 years younger or something.
Yeah. They've got now like Jimenez. He's another Uruguayan centre back, isn't he? And
yeah, Jimenez has been around for time, but he's only like 26, 25, 26.
Yeah.
But we ain't got no chance of getting him, man. If City could have get him, and City were interested, but they wanted a lot. And Atletico, they're very good at cash. They're very good at in terms of what we're not good at is making decent money on players.
Yeah.
They make some bloody good turnover, man.
Yeah, they seem to recycle strikers, don't they? They've gone from like Forlan, Aguero, Falcao, Torres. Christ, I'm sure there's even more than that. They've kind of recycled, haven't they? Diego Costa, I know he's back there now.
But he's a top manager, though, because that time he won the league with Atletico, and this is true, they had the same wage bill as Fulham at the time.
Yeah.
And to do that, to finish above the Madrid and Barcelona, win the league, that's something else, man.
Yeah.
And that can't be ignored.
Yeah, he seems to get they seem to scout some really good players and bring them in. I mean, players that we haven't really heard of before. And I know a few of them come through their system and stuff like that. But still, I mean, credits where it's due. They're still spotting these players and getting them there, whether they come through the youth system or not.
And making a shitload, mate.
So, yeah. So, in your opinion, would you take Simeone?
I would, but it wouldn't be my first choice.
No? Who would be your first choice?
It would be Poch, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah,
why in particular? Premier League proven.
That as well, but you know what I mean. The man took a team to the Champions League final with spending no money.
Yeah,
and Daniel Levy's a shrewd git, man. Speaks when he's Tottenham fan. Whether I don't know how they feel about him, but he looks like someone that means business isn't taking his shit.
Yeah.
So that'd be my choice, mate.
Fair play. Yeah, I would take Poch as well. Josh, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. I would take.
I was going to say that he would. I don't think he'd come.
You don't?
I
think he would.
It depends. I think it would. I don't think it's so much about Arsenal. Well, I don't really trust Arsenal board anyway to get the right person or any manager, to be honest. But I think it would be down to him if he's got the balls to come and take the job on.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, I don't care that he was the ex-Spurs manager.
No, that don't bother me.
George Graham went to Tottenham and won him a trophy after fucking winning us a couple of league titles and stuff.
Yeah. So George, man, my guy, man.
George Graham, you'd have him back, would you? Even now, sort of defence out.
I would have him to sort the defence out, 100%.
Yeah, true.
I remember the day. Listen, George Graham, when the man won the league the man won 2 league titles in the era where you'd have no right to finish above Liverpool, and not only that, when he won the second league title, that Arsenal defence, I think I got this right. I always get it wrong. They conceded 17 goals.
I think it was
that league.
18, 16, 18.
17 or 18, yeah. In 38 games.
It was solid, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. I mean, we only lost 1 league game that season.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, that you don't have to spend millions of pounds on defenders or players in general. As long as you can get them function as a good defensive unit, you're off it. I mean, so moving on to the man we were just talking about, Pochettino. So this guy would be your first choice then, right?
It would be. And you know what it is? When people talk about, who do we get in? We had this same argument when we had Wenger there. There's always managers out there, man. It doesn't have to be star Galactico names. You know how difficult it is to get these managers. There's a reason why these guys are not available very often, because they're at clubs where they're going to be taken. But to me, Poch is a no-brainer, man.
Yeah.
If Arsenal really wanted to make it happen, and even if it couldn't happen, but if they really wanted to take the bull by the horns and take no shit and say, you know what, let's get this guy, man. He's been out of work. He knows the league. Yeah, he can bring up the Tottenham thing, but that's not really an issue for me. But yeah, man, he's you know what I mean? He's not exactly over the hill in terms of a coach. You understand? He's taken a bit of a break now. So time will tell, man. But, like you said on my show earlier, are Arsenal, they haven't been for many years ruthless enough to pull the trigger ASAP with Arteta? Not sure, mate. Yeah,
they've kind of hang around, don't they? I mean, it's what I kind of accused them of when they got Arteta. It seemed like they wanted Mourinho, I wanted Mourinho, and then it kind of Spurs sacked Pochettino, knowing full well if they don't, they might lose Mourinho, and they just quickly jumped in there and got him, and now they're talking.
That's one thing I have to say about Levy, man. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't mess around, man, whether you like him or not.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have Poch in a heartbeat. Like you just said there, mate. He's Premier League proven to work on a budget, because let's face it, Arsenal are going to be tight as fuck until we can get rid of Kroenke. He's got them to a Champions League final. He almost won them the league till they bottled it. And I think, I want a top manager, someone who's proven and knows what they know what they're doing anyway. But the fact that he got them defensively, set up really well, that's the thing that sort of brings my attention to him, because it's all right playing all this great attacking football, but if your defense is wide open every game, like it's been under Wenger, Emery, and Arteta, it doesn't make a difference, mate.
And it's mad, because with Emery, he's meant to be quite a pragmatic coach. It is. That's what they said. They said, but it's funny, because even I know in the sort of the French media outlet, they was very surprised. Arsenal offered Emery the job. Very, very surprised.
Yeah. GK, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. This team is suited to a pragmatic style. We don't have expressive players. I don't know. We do have some expressive players. I just don't think we're playing in a system that they can express themselves. I mean, Pepe's not suited for this type of football. I don't think Saka is either, if I'm being honest with you. No,
Xhaka definitely isn't, man.
Yeah. I feel Arteta was doing well by using the 3-4-3, but he went against his system and got desperate and isn't a top 4 quality team. Yeah, I mean, it's different, isn't it? I think he did get a little bit desperate, but at the same time, it's like he has to change it when it's not working slightly, doesn't he? He has to do something. Otherwise, people just accuse him of not doing anything, which is kind of what he's doing now, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, he went away from that surprisingly again in the Tottenham away game. I at the time I said, okay, he made a couple of changes, but when I thought about it at the time, I'm thinking, you know what? You don't play a flat back four against Spurs away. You ain't won there in 6 years, and you've got Granit Xhaka in the midfield who can't play in the two in any formation unless you play, like I said, 3 centre backs. Otherwise, it shows up his deficiencies, which it does.
Yeah, I would play Granit Xhaka in a fucking in any team. I'll be honest with you, mate. In any fucking team, get that fucking guy. Honestly, it's got to be the last time he wears an Arse shirt. I know it won't be, but
and you know the worst thing. And it's true. Someone said this, right? And I've not heard it, unless somebody in the chat wants to say, "Or you heard anything, Ross?" I ain't heard him come out and apologize.
No, not at all.
No, he didn't even apologize the first time.
Mate, he didn't apologise when he cost us Champions League football by giving away a penalty at the Emirates on the last day of the season against Brighton. I mean, he walked off the pitch like nothing had fucking happened. I don't get it. Like that game meant nothing. It was just a nothing game at the end of the season.
And you look at the clubs you look at the one club that's interested in him. No disrespect to Hertha Berlin, but that's the only guy. That's the only team that wanted him. But unfortunately, Arteta, whatever he said to him or gave him a hug or a kiss, or whatever he did, decided to keep him or you know, get him to stay. And I just think that's you died on your sword, man.
I mean,
on your sword.
I can see why maybe some other teams like in the Bundesliga or Serie A might take him because it's a much slower paced football, especially an average team. You know, at Bayern, he wouldn't last 2 minutes, you know, or something.
No, he wouldn't.
But Hertha Berlin or like, I don't know, Sampdoria or something, I can see him playing in. Or, I don't know, what's a mid-table Spanish team? Celta
Vigo of Valencia. Yeah.
I could see that, but this is the Premier League, and no one can be forced to be carried. And you know, I just think he's out of his depth, mate. You know, he's not like he's not putting in the performances. It's that he's just not good enough, and it's like he wants someone to put him out of his misery. It really does seem that way. Yeah,
because you said to me like he's like you thought he'd done it on purpose. You thought he'd done it deliberately yesterday. You know what? Someone said that about Bellerin. I was watching another channel. They said someone put in the chat. They said the same thing about Bellerin.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see anything in that tackle it was a stupid tackle. And honestly, oh God, this guy Bellerin, man, please. Don't want to see him in Arsenal shirt either.
Abdullah, Xhaka responded and a penalty kick not awarded changed the game. Not sure what you mean by that, mate. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't get that. Yeah, explain, please.
GK, I'm a big admirer of Simeone. Yeah, I'd take him in a heartbeat, mate. I think he's brilliant. Whether he'd want to come to our fucking shit show of a club, though, that remains to be seen.
No, you see, the thing is, if you with Simeone, if you remember him as a player, and you see him as a manager, him and Arsenal is like it's like, you know, there's a reason why Brian Clough never got the England job, because the FA knew what would happen if he gave him the job.
Yeah,
he would want to run the FA. Yeah, it's true. With certain guys, people won't. It's like when Wenger was there, Ross. Like, there's certain footballers out there, right?
They want a yes man, don't they?
Yeah, there's no way Wenger would have had certain footballers in his dressing room, because they would have told Wenger where to stick it, mate. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good comment, Abdullah. We should swap Xhaka for Eriksen, mate. I would take that in a heartbeat. I can't understand why there's some Arsenal fans who wouldn't take Eriksen because he played for Spurs. I mean, his stats in the last 2 seasons for Spurs were fucking awesome. Exactly what we need. But yeah, you take him?
Yeah, I know people keep making a lot of people have said it though. Like, I don't know what's happened. Like, they're saying more or less that since his last bit of Spurs until now, like, the man's fallen off a cliff. But I mean, I've not seen him too much in Italy, but you know what? Listen, let's be honest. Not everybody goes to Italy and smashes it up. Like I said, i.e. Dennis Bergkamp. And don't tell me he wasn't a good player, because he bloody well was.
Yeah, he was a legend, yeah.
For club and country, yeah. So yeah, I'll take Eriksen. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're talking about Arsenal's got a creativity issue, but then when it suits certain Arsenal fans, oh, nah, he's, you know, it'd be another no, it wouldn't be another William. It's not even the same.
The thing is,
he's 4 years younger as well.
Yeah, he's 28, so he's in the prime of his career. He's Premier League proven. And let's say we got him for £12 million, right? And it didn't work out a year from now. We'd sell him for 12 million.
Yeah.
Someone will give us 12 million for Eriksen, you know? Or I think so anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
Josh, I take Big Sam. Mate, I tell you what, he'd sort our fucking defence out. He would. He wouldn't have Bellerin in the team or Xhaka.
If Big Sam came to Arsenal, Jesus Christ, I think there'd be a riot. There'd be an organised riot on Twitter or Instagram.
All the defenders should be tearing up their contracts, going, "Get me out of there."
Oh my God! Can you imagine if Big Sam came to Arsenal? Fucking hell!
I'd take him at the moment, mate. James Face, big up yourself, mate. Get Alan Pardew. I think he's just taken a job though, hasn't he?
Pardew.
Yeah, he's taken a job. I think of like what is it? The national team, one of the African countries, or
yeah, he was in the thing a while ago. I think with him and the likes of Allardyce and who's the other guy, they sort of get recycled around sort of the manager of merry-go-round, didn't it? But I'd rather take Rafa personally. But
yeah, we'll come on to him in a second. Even Harry Redknapp.
I think Harry's retired. Harry's too busy making money, man. He's a celebrity, man. He doesn't need football anymore.
Yeah, he's been on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Or something,
he's done all right from it, mate. He's done all right.
That guy would take it though. If you offered him the money, he's a fucking old school guy, mate. He would fucking take it.
He would get us playing, mate. None of this, not what we're playing at the moment. No manager would do that. Jesus.
Right, let's move on to potentially target number 3. Okay, this is an interesting one. This might divide opinion a little bit. Between this guy, Brendan Rodgers. Would you take him?
He does divide opinion. You took the words out of my mouth. I think not a lot of Arsenal fans that I would honestly say that I know, but they go, oh, SPO and he bottled it for Liverpool. Let's have it right. Before, Liverpool hadn't won the league for over 30 years. They've had better managers than Brendan Rodgers. So let's nip that in the bud. And he did well at Swansea, did well at Celtic. He left Celtic to come to the Premier League, man. You understand? So,
yeah,
you know, he's a good manager. I think he doesn't get a lot of credit. And I don't really know why people. I don't really know why people have that view of him, particularly. Well, like I said, I speak in terms of Arsenal, the Arsenal fan base, in the sense of, you know what I mean? We had a manager for 22 years. It was always going to be a very difficult job, whoever got it afterwards, experienced or not. Why would you turn your nose at Brendan Rodgers? He's been in the Premier League. And you know what? Listen, because Arsenal not that club to go and be, you know, to cause a shithousery or to upset clubs. Rodgers would have come to Arsenal, man. Trust me.
He would or wouldn't?
Yeah, he would have come to Arsenal, 100%, Ross.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If Arsenal, even if Arsenal gone the wrong way about it and tried to get him, it could have happened. I think it could have happened.
I mean, he did a good job at Swansea. He took him up and he was playing some really good football. Then he got offered the Liverpool job, where it went a little bit sour for him. Yeah. I'm just going to let Ryan in the chat.
Go on, Ryan.
Ryan, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yes. He's got his mute on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How you doing? All right?
To run downstairs to get the laptop.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's all right, man.
Good. How are you?
Mate, we're talking about 7 managers with potential new managers for Arsenal, because let's face it, Arteta is going to be going sooner or later. We've got through Simeone and Pochettino, and we're now on Brendan Rodgers. What's your thoughts on them guys?
I actually wanted Brendan to come in the first place, to be honest. He was actually my first choice after Wenger was let go. Well, let's be honest, he was let go. I had to believe all the hype about our send off and all that bollocks.
Yeah, 100%.
He was sacked. Yeah, he was sacked. We all know that. Do you know what I mean? Brendan, 100%. Excuse me. Pochettino, that now for me, I'm in 2 minds of that. Not just because he didn't exactly win anything with Tottenham. Well, that's partly it. But I think that was down to Daniel Levy not necessarily giving him more 100%. Funds.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've heard from certain Tottenham fans that he didn't bring in certain types of players that they needed. So to help them get to the next level, do you know what I mean? And Poch did bottle the Champions League final, thank God. But let's be honest with that. I think putting Harry Kane on fucked them over, which was obviously great for us.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I'd like Simeone as well, because he takes no bullshit. But
that's what we need.
Listen, we need it from top to bottom, mate. If I'm honest, we need it from the owner, rather the recruitment team come out on the pitch and slap someone in the face, mate. I'm not even joking. That's how bad it is at this club. But yeah, Brendan Rodgers, Simeone, maybe Allegri, but I only going off Allegri because of his CV. I haven't exactly watched Allegri under doing Juventus and stuff like that. There's probably one match I watched, and that was the Man United game when I had to watch that because I was with my mate. So that's about it. But his CV is pretty good. So why not?
Yeah, he just couldn't get that Champions League, could he? He made a few finals, which just couldn't get over the line, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Brendan Rodgers, I'd take him. I think he did a good job at Swansea, obviously. He got a job at Liverpool. Didn't quite work out for a big club, big expectations. I felt if he'd have got more time at Liverpool, he'd have been a success. I think he was trying to buy some strikers, and there just wasn't anybody available that season. I remember him buying Balotelli, and that was, I think, a big mistake he made. But again, Balotelli for Man City. Obviously, went to Celtic. Anybody could win a treble up there, if you ask me. But obviously excelled. I think I can win a league up there. To be fair. Then he comes to Leicester, and let's be real, he's doing everything at Leicester. He's buying the right players. He's playing the right type of football. Exactly what we want, really, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's true. Ryan, you missed my. I was saying about Poch. Quickly about Poch. I mean, let's be honest. Tottenham have not been a trophy-winning side for many years. They've had a lot of managers, but he took a team that he not spent no money to a Champions League final. There's not many guys that have done that. But with Brendan Rodgers, like I said,
that's the thing.
And the thing with Brendan Rodgers, I think people give him a stick, and I think it's not easy to win a league title at Liverpool. You understand? There's many better managers than Brendan Rodgers, and you know what I mean. They've not got over league. I know he's obviously made some strange signings, and the only reason why he didn't win the league at Liverpool is because he never addressed the defensive issues because they conceded way too many goals. That's what lost him the league title that season.
I don't think
he would. He wouldn't if Sol Campbell was still the manager there.
I don't think Accrington Stanley would take Xhaka.
Yeah, smash like up, people, if you're watching and you're new, subscribe. We're going to move on then after Brendan Rodgers. Our next one is this man here. I think Albert touched on him earlier. Rafa Benitez. What's your thoughts on him, guys?
Go Ryan, you hit that one first, mate.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but I'm not too sure because I'm looking at the job he did at Newcastle, not so much Liverpool, because that was a good time for him. But I mean, he was able to help Newcastle not get relegated. If anything, they were in a terrible state, which kind of similar to kind of what we are right now. We have a greedy owner like they did. And I think, how would that work with the Cronkies and the budget? Do you know what I'm saying? But I think Rafa could do all he could as long as he just gets rid of his countrymen and Bellerin and Xhaka. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I won't mind it because he's experienced.
I'd take Rafa.
How far will he take us?
I mean, he did a good job at Liverpool. I know it's a long time ago now, but he even came to Chelsea where he fucking hated, wasn't he? He was booed from the day he got the job.
And he still did well there.
Yeah, he still did well. It's true.
Chelsea, actually. You won Europa League, is there, isn't it? Yeah, he won Europa League. Yeah,
he did,
Yeah.
Chelsea. I think I said to you on another stream now, but I liked what we did with David Luiz there. He realised he wasn't a good defender, but obviously had some skill about him and could tackle to a certain extent. And he put him in defensive midfield. And I remember that. And it's the one manager who's done that to David Luiz. And I thought he flagged him there.
Yeah, you're right, actually. It's a good point. Yeah, I've said Rafa before because I think if Arsenal are going to go down, not that the board probably think like this anyway, because they're not really a rational board anyway. But if you're looking at it from an interim point of view where we are in the season, it could be here on an interim basis, which would be ideal. whether they would want to give it to Rafa now on a full-time basis for a good 2 or 3 years, I doubt that. But I think for a stopgap appointment, I think he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
And remember, at Newcastle, we've done wonders. Not being funny. You speak to any Newcastle fan in the last 10 years, man. Honestly, for him to get that Newcastle side in, was it a top 10 finish?
Yeah,
he got any money.
Yeah, well.
And promoted, didn't he? He got promoted.
Yep. I think Newcastle was very lucky to even have him.
Yeah, I mean, you put all that together, and you actually think he's actually done a really good job there.
Yeah, he has.
Really, but I would take him anyway.
Sure.
If they got rid of Arteta ASAP, you get him on interim basis. Give him what just bring him in. Bring him in.
Would he leave?
You know what?
Would he leave the interim though?
Huh?
Would he leave his job in China though, in the interim?
He did it for. Well, he was interim at Chelsea, wasn't he? But I don't know. That's quite a while ago now.
Yeah, but he's a manager at a club in China at the moment, though, isn't he?
I'm sure. Where?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so.
So I don't mean to sign him, permanently.
But no, interim wise, I think ideally that's what I'd look at him in that capacity. But I can't. Arsenal don't work like that, man. Unfortunately, it's mad.
Arteta should have been on an interim.
Yeah.
Let's be real. He should have been on interim before giving him the permanent job. But I guess they're like Pep Guardiola's code, man. Right? Well,
go, man.
Well, it's the truth. It's the truth. So
it's like we said on your some people can't take a step up though, can they? From assistant to the top manager's job. It's a different job.
I'd have to do my history or research, but I don't know too many number twos that have done well going into as a number one. I don't know too many off the top of my head, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think was Mourinho a number 2. He was at Barcelona.
He worked under Bobby Robson, yeah. So he done his sort of tutelage and then got the chance in it. But yeah, I don't know too many number twos that have done great as number ones.
Yeah, I think AVB was his number 2 at Porto. Is that right?
I think you're right. I think you are. Yeah. But yeah.
Set the world on
and AVB. Yeah.
Women.
And he has some good jobs, man.
Yeah.
He's at Marseille, isn't he?
Is he?
Oh yeah, he's at Marseille though. Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah. Right, guys, let's move on to this man. What's your thoughts on Allegri? Would you take him?
Yes. CV wise, yes.
Go on, sorry, mate.
No. All I was going to say was quickly because, like I said to you guys earlier, I haven't seen Juventus that much, but based on the CV, he did well with AC Milan, right? So I was told. So
he won the league as well, I think.
Yeah.
AC Milan have been at the bottom for ages. Now they're on the rise. I get up again. Obviously not there, but at that time he won it. I'm pretty sure AC Milan are at the gutter. Do you know what I mean? So why not? I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I think
what you were saying.
No, I don't. It's not that I wouldn't say no to Allegri. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if would his I think the thing you would have to ask is would his appetite be there to come to Arsenal as it might have been 12, 14 months ago. And like I said, we all know the story when he was sort of courted with the job. He went in there and said, "Look, man, how much money are you going to give me? I'm bringing my backroom team. And why should I manage Arsenal?" His English wasn't fantastic, but the Arsenal thought he was too arrogant.
What? Because he asked for actual money to spend? Because he's the league coach.
Exactly.
Remember, I listened to, I think it was on Ornstein's, it's The Athletic, he does a podcast show with Mark Chapman. At the time, he said, that when he's talking about Arsenal and Allegri, at the time the job was available, that's what he said, Arsenal thought he was too arrogant.
Mate, I'd have that guy in a heartbeat. There's your 2 million a year or whatever it is you want. There's 150 million. There's your fucking club out.
I wouldn't say no to him, but I think the other two I'd be more inclined to Poch or what's the other guys?
Simeone.
I don't see it happening, but I think, like I said, I think Poch is a viable option, but I'm not sure if you have the appetite to come back to North London.
Thing is, though, mate, let's be real. He got sacked. So imagine if he got sacked from there and then came to Arsenal and then, let's say, won the league.
I know. Can you imagine?
He still loves Tottenham, though.
The hunger's there, though, man. It's to understand it would be there. You'd have something to prove. Like I said, he took Tottenham. Tottenham were not a top 4 club. Let's be honest. In the last 15, 20 years, there wasn't. And he got them into regular Champions League football. Got them to a final. Just was a bit short, man. They had the players to win a trophy, but yeah, Daniel Levy just pulled the trigger, man.
Yeah, I think they could losing the players at the end, which I found a bit weird because it kind of happened really quickly, didn't it? But
it did come out of nowhere. It did. I remember that when it happened, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I would take a leg in a heartbeat. Moving on to the last couple of managers. Now, these are 2 actually that I wouldn't take. I want to see your opinions on them, but I wouldn't take.
Let's have a look.
Players, because
Ajax manager.
Okay.
What do you think of this guy?
Right. I mean, he's done a good job, but let's face it. I mean, Ajax are known for having a very good academy, so Ajax are expected to win the Eredivisie. But in terms of Champions League, I mean, okay, they kind of messed themselves up against Tottenham last season. I'm not just saying it because it's Tottenham, but let's be real. Tottenham should have been out, but nope, they messed up. And I mean, even this season in the Champions League, I mean, it's exactly been great, is it? But I don't know. I'll probably lean towards him. No, I think I'm going to be with you, Ross. Nah, I think I need to see a little bit more from him, personally. I think everyone's just got excited because of Ajax and he's done such a fantastic job. And you look at De Jong, you look at Van der Beek, who's at United, and Mateus De Ligt. Now they're all gone. You've got Quincy Promes and a few other guys. No disrespect to the other guys, but I'm not really hearing the same sounds I was hearing that season.
Not heard about David Harris for ages. Striker.
There you go. So nobody know for me.
You know what it is a Ten Hag. I think especially with no, I wasn't going to say that, Ron. I think you know what it is. I think sometimes when someone's hot property, whether it's a footballer or a manager, if they don't move when they're hot, and then it can change so quickly, man. Like, you know, people singing his praises when he got Ajax to the semi-final, which, like, you're right, you make a good point. How they lost that game to Tottenham is beyond me, but over 2 legs, because they're brilliant in the first leg. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't say his time is gone because you know you can recoup and get it together, have a good season. But yeah, I'm not sure. But it's not. I wouldn't say no. You know, the guy's obviously got something about him. Young, dynamic coach. But yeah, I just think sometimes I don't know what his contract is at Ajax, but and I'm not. That's a problem with paper talk, isn't it? It's all rumors, isn't it? People being interested and they just throw names out there, but. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he actually is at Ajax in the next couple of years. We'll see. I wouldn't say no, but it's not my top choice.
I wouldn't have. I mean, I kind of agree with what Ryan said. I think, let's be real, Ajax are kind of almost guaranteed a title every year.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes care of itself. Now, when you kind of know that, you know, then you've only got to sort of like, you know, mix your players around to get ready for the Champions League. And I would thought that'd be an advantage for them against other European teams. Again, I would like to see more of him. I mean, it's a couple of years, whereas people like Ancelotti, Simeone, Benitez, Allegri, they've been around for a long time at the top level and won stuff. So, yeah, I kind of agree with Ryan on that one. I wouldn't take him. You know, in 5 years' time, if he's still doing as well with other clubs, then fine.
Yeah. No, I get that
one. Okay, moving on to our last manager, Nagelsmann, the Leipzig manager. What's your thoughts on this guy?
Go on,
Albert, do you want to go first? You sure?
Yeah, go on. I'll go first. Yeah, this guy's been talked about for quite a long time. I mean, I think at the time he must have been one of the youngest managers in European football. But I think the only thing that would concern me about him is I'd even go as recent as this Champions League campaign. I know they've made it through to the knockout stages, but I mean, how can you lose five? They lost 5-0 to United. They did well last season, getting to this, was it semi-final of the Champions League? But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think to lose that game 5-0 to United, and then I know they beat them in the last game, the group game. But I mean, what happened in that game? Like that just came from nowhere. And I know United have got a good attacking players, but I mean, with Nagelsmann, he's still young. He's still young. He must be the same age as Arteta or a couple of years older. I'm not even sure, but I think he's one to look out for in the future. I wouldn't say necessarily now. We've seen the problems with how big a job it is at Arsenal on and off the pitch. You don't want to be putting that onto another young dynamic manager's head and then ruin his career. So yeah, he's what I'd look at in probably a couple of years' time, mate. 2-3 years' time. He's still young enough, mate. He's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. I think, again, haven't seen enough of him. He's in the Bundesliga, and if you kind of avoid Bayern and probably Dortmund, you kind of should be third or fourth. He's young. He's playing some good football. They've got some good players there, like Kanate, Upamecano. Werner there. They've got Forsberg, the Swedish number 10. Is it Nkunu, the guy they got from PSG?
Who he's linked with again?
Yeah, Christopher Nkunku. Yeah.
I just, like I said, for me, I want someone who's just been proven to manage at a top level and get results. If that means Mourinho, Ancelotti, someone like that, I don't care. That's who I would have gone for before Arteta. What's your thoughts, Ryan, on him?
100% agree with you. I mean, he's definitely one for the future. I think because we see him so far done well with this Leipzig team, it looks all good, but it's not the same as Ten Hag but it is in terms of we need to see more. So if we can go to another club and do wonders with them, then I'd consider it. But now it's too early. I like what he's done with the Leipzig team and how well he's recovered since letting Werner go to Chelsea. To be honest, I thought they were going to be a little bit in trouble once Werner kind of left them for dead in the Champions League. But to be honest, he steered the ship. They're going through to the next round. And I like him. He's very dynamic as well. And he seems to have a system and he likes to coach it very well. The players understand him. They function well. And I give you the best example. Look at Angelino. I don't know if he's still a City player or he's on loan.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Look how impressive he is, guys. Yeah. I mean, he tears it up. I remember watching him against Tottenham last season.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle him. I was like, is this the same guy Man City bought? And when I watched him at Man City, he looked awful. The guy come to Journey and tearing it up already. I'm like, shit, this guy's sick. Honestly. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's definitely one for the future.
Another thing about Nagelsmann, who was it before? Was it Hoffenheim before Leipzig?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
He's he's at another German club before. Yeah, so he's like I said, he's very young. He's very, very young when he was. I think it was Hoffenheim. I might be wrong, but I think it is. But yeah, listen, he's going in the right direction, man. He's kind of, you know what I mean. He's like Ryan said, he's a young, dynamic coach. He seems like he knows what he's doing. But yeah, he's still young enough. A couple more years, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, my worry is we take him from the Bundesliga, put him in a Premier League, and as we know, the Premier League swallows up players and managers really quickly if you're not up to it. And that's my big concern with him. If he'd have gone to Spain and won things there, or Italy or whatever, then I'd probably just go, okay, cool. But at the moment, he's been around a couple of years. We could be like not hearing of him in a couple of years' time. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to find out how long he was at Hoffenheim for. I'm sure it was Hoffenheim. Let me Google it.
Is there any in the of them 7 like you would take? That's on the list. Obviously, I'd take Ancelotti. I take Mourinho, but obviously that ship sailed with him being at Spurs. Who else would you take?
Well, outside of the guys you mentioned, or just them?
Outside of the guy I mentioned, realistically, you take.
I'm trying to fit as anybody else. You've done well to mention 7. To be honest, I don't know if there's any more.
Where's Luis?
For real,
manager. Is he Spain manager?
Yeah, he was another one we was linked with, but again, I mean, it's rumored that he wanted about 14 million £14 a year. That's just for him alone. But then he would have wanted play. I wouldn't have said no to him.
Yeah,
but again, it's Arsenal, isn't it?
3 million to start, 300 to start with the transfer. Is that right, Albert? You wanted 300.
I'm not sure in terms of transfer kit. I'm not sure in terms of transfer kitty, but I know in terms of paying him a salary. Yeah, he's looking at some serious dough, man. But Arsenal weren't prepared to meet that.
Well, yeah, I think he wanted more money to spend, didn't he? As well, like 200 million.
Yeah,
which is fair enough. We should be buying. Chelsea did.
Exactly, you can sell players on top. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We've allowed Chelsea to come up. This is what I'm saying. We've allowed Chelsea to come up. Roman come in, and he left. He said, "I don't want to go with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Go to Chelsea, inject the money in there, help them get to where they got to. Bring in Jose, and look, how many titles are we behind Chelsea now? They've touched the Champions League before. They touched the Europa League before us, and yet when we were out here being invincible and winning doubles and that, what were Chelsea doing?
Yeah."
It's sad. It's sad to see, and now we've allowed City to do that. No, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's so many gooners out there who are still, holds on to the facts of like the Invincibles and the Thierry Henry days. That was like 15 years ago now.
A long time ago, mate.
A long time ago.
Kid, man.
How bad we've been for 15 years. It's not just like 7 or 8 years. It's been about a good 15, mate. And we're still clinging on to like memories of Henry and Bergkamp and Pires and people like this. It's time to move on, man, and fucking get back to where we were.
Yeah, Ross, I was going to mention about Nagelsmann. Yeah, he was at Hoffenheim before, but I knew he was young. I didn't realize how young he still is.
Yeah.
How is he?
33.
What?
Yeah, he retired. He started coaching very, 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 very early in his career. Yeah, so late 20s. So yeah, he's 33. Born in 87. So he's got plenty of time, man, and he's done well. You think if he's only 33 now, and you've got to the level of coaching you have done. People can talk about the quality of the Bundesliga, but as a coach, come on, man, you've got to give the guy some respect, man.
Yeah, definitely.
33.
Yeah, I just think though at this moment in time, like last time when Arteta got the job, we need someone who's proven to know what they're doing. And I get you saying he's had success at Leipzig and Hoffenheim, and get that, but I want a top manager that there's no one who looks good or is up and coming. Someone who's proven, like Mourinho, Ancelotti, Allegri, Benitez, all them kind of guys.
That's why Nagelsmann's a good shout, but not yet, man. I thought he was late 30s, but no, he's 33, man. Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? Jesus.
that shows how well. But then that shows that's a good reflection on him because it shows how his stock is rising.
Yeah, Josh. Hope he plays Smith Rowe on Wednesday. I don't think he will, mate. But what do you guys think? Do you think Smith Rowe deserves his chance, or do you think it's a game that he can't risk him in?
No, he's not. He's not going to do it. I'll tell you why he's not going to do it. Because if he was going to do it, he would have done it yesterday.
Yeah.
No, he's going to play spinning top. I mean, Ceballos, sorry. That's what he's going to do. He's going to play. He's a spinning top. He does spin around.
I'm seeing some tweets from. I see some people saying in the chat, Fabrizio Romano's on your tweet again, man.
Yeah, he's talking about Edu. Yeah. Saw a bit of that before.
I'm going to tell you. It's 31 minutes ago. Edu on Arteta. Arteta is doing a great job. We are in the process to have a beautiful future with Mikel. If you can sign 20 players, which we're not going to do, that's not going to work anyway. Why people expect a magician to go boom, come here, Messi, ? That's not going to happen.
Ox Chelsea.
Sorry,
yeah,
Ox Chelsea. Ox Man City.
Edu. Yeah, Fabrizio's on it, man. That's what Edu said, mate. It's not a magician, mate. They're telling us what we already know.
Yeah.
He's questionable himself, Edu.
But Ross, it's what I said to you about Edu, though, isn't it? I mean, I don't know his expertise in terms of what he did at Brazil, but coming to do that at Arsenal is a different ball game, man. There's other guys that even I think Overmars is much more experienced, for example. There's other guys that are more experienced. So listen, who knows?
Yeah.
We should have tried to get Overmars, man. I mean, at least talk to them. Say, would you consider it? Because I'm sure Brandon Clark can look after the realms. Do you know what I mean?
Ryan, do you think it's a case of Ross? Do you think it's a case of Overmars is probably too smart to come to Arsenal and the mess that they're in?
Yeah, probably, mate. He's probably thinking, "Fuck that." Not until I think he was.
Yeah.
Was get offered it and he turned it down, or he wasn't interested. He wouldn't stay. He signed a new contract at Ajax. That's what I heard.
He was rumored along with Monchi, who's very, very a very good. I think he was it Roma? Was he Monchi?
Yeah, and then went back to
Emery's right-hand man, basically. Yeah.
Working with Emery again, isn't he, at Villarreal, I think.
Yeah, probably. Would surprise me. Yeah, Monchi came with a good match.
I think so. They're top of the league, aren't they? Villarreal?
They're doing well. They're doing well. No. Guys in the chat, come on, man. Let's go. Be on job.
You think they will
top with
Yeah, go on, Ryan.
No, I was just saying, Atletico. I checked this morning. Atletico are tied with Sociedad, top of the table right now.
Okay.
So Sociedad the second, Atletico top. I think Villarreal are like third or fourth, but they're doing well regardless. So
yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's
right. You think they will play for Arteta against Southampton? I mean, Xhaka and Bellerin ain't playing. Could be a result.
If we're going by when you guys was on my live stream earlier, and you guys saw the tweet from Chris Wheatley from Football London, if that's true, amongst probably all the other rumours which are probably true, no, I don't think they're playing for him, to be honest. In any football team, you're going to get clicks as well in it, and I don't think that's helped, obviously, with what's happened with Mesut Ozil being frozen out of the squad.
You don't agree with that?
No, I'm just saying. I think where that's happened and the clicks in the group and in the team, you're training with a guy every day. He's not in the squad. Like that's going to have an effect, man.
It's weird, isn't it?
And the way Arteta's shown favoritism, and that's why one thing, and I like I said yesterday, when Martin Tyler made that point, he didn't have the same energy for Xhaka as he did for Pepe. He didn't. He said it's unacceptable, but if you saw the way, if you watch the two interviews separately again, you'll see a vast difference in the energy he had for Pepe and Xhaka.
I saw it. He just went. They asked him about it, and then he just went, "Oh yeah, the same." Didn't he? Or
yeah. He kind of dismissed it. Yeah, he was very dismissive with it, guys. I mean,
100%.
You really want to talk about it. But the thing is,
I think it's because he's looked at the team or the squad, and he's looked at players that he can raise funds for to get his own guys in. In my personal opinion, I think Pepe's one of those, and he thinks I can get 35 million for him in January, probably, or give or take. And that's also why I think he's kept Saliba at the team. It's not because he's not ready. He's looked at him for, I can sell him for about 30 million. Now, if he gets rid of those two for 30, 35 million, he can probably get Zoboslai for 25 and Awarin for 40 or 45. You know what I mean? That's what I think he's trying to do. And he's trying to exile certain players to kind of do that. Like with Ozil, we thought, eventually, if I exile towards the end of last season, he'll go, and that's another 350 grand of wages that we can free up for these sort of guys. That's how I see it. That's what I think he's doing. But what do you guys think?
I mean, if I won't say too much. I'll let Ryan come in. But if Saliba leaves Arsenal, we're a laughing stock in many quarters anyway. But I cannot understand a football club purchasing an up and coming centre back who's not playing like reserve team football or been plucked from non-league football. This guy's actually playing first team football in France. You can question the quality of the league, but he's playing men's football, and you don't play him for 2 years. That's madness, man.
I've heard Bayern wants to loan him in January. Bayern Munich. Can you imagine if he went there and ended up being the next, whoever, John Terry or whatever? He'd be absolutely gutted, wouldn't he?
And the thing is, irrespective of his age, if I was him, I'd want to leave.
Yeah.
What am I staying for?
Especially under 23s. I mean, you've got to at least find him a loan deal or play him, right? I mean, he must get ahead of
100%.
Yeah.
Gets ahead of Mustafi easily with his eyes closed. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I will say this, I feel it's wrong they didn't put him in the team for Europa League or the Premier League. And I know he had personal problems going on. You know, but he lost his mother, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hear that. And look, man could set out for a piece until he's ready mentally. Yeah. But for him to be playing under 23s football, you know, he got sent off the other day, but all right, whatever. Yeah. But I think it's under 21s actually. Is it under 21s? I think it's 21.
23.
Smart lady. All right, cool. But even still, he still mentally tested himself to get there. And you know, when Arsenal do that, who do you know business? The man said to Lacazette when they were like, "Oh, guess the French players and that," and then who played for Arsenal. Saliba was like, "I haven't even played yet, so I don't know why you're saying me."
That's what I'm saying. When the man's
saying that, and then you're doing what you've done to Guendouzi, and listen, at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I thought, all right, cool, yeah, Guendouzi does need to shut up and sit out, cool. Yeah. But to send him out, and yet you keep Xhaka, who I'm thinking, I'd rather keep Guendouzi. Just tell Guendouzi to shut his mouth, you know, and fix up. Cool, right? We know Guendouzi don't want to listen and all that. All right, fine. You sit on the bench and you sulk. You play in the under 23s then. Why didn't he do that with Guendouzi? He didn't do that. But he decided to fix out him to Hertha Berlin. And Hertha Berlin are more likely to buy him now than have Granit Xhaka, who we could have sold in January.
Yeah.
But no.
Even at a loss, we should have sold him.
Yeah.
And this just shows the mismanagement.
I mean, I think Guendouzi is another one that he tried to exile. He looked at him and thought, well, if I can get 25 million for him, I can bring, again, some of my own guys in there. And that's what I think he's doing with all the players. That's how I see it. Because it's just weird. It makes no sense otherwise. Why would you put Saliba in the under 23s, not in the squad? Why would you put Guendouzi? Okay, he might be a bit of an idiot a couple of times, but to do what he's done just seems a bit harsh. It just doesn't quite add up, you know? And Pepe as well. As soon as he got sent off, it was like he scapegoated him. Yeah, so that the loss wasn't on his shoulders. And then, you know, he gives him a reason to flog him, you know, in January. But that's the way I see it.
Do you know what? I will say this, yeah, with the Pepe thing, I think when Pepe come out and made them comments, I think Arteta, and I said it to you before, guys, it pissed him off. It made him so embarrassed to the point where it's like he seemed so justified by why he threw Pepe. And then he threw Pepe under the bus. It's a little bit tat for tat. All right, you say that about me, cool. Pepe messes up. Arteta's like, okay, I'm just going to bury you now. And yet, the thing that I can't understand was and I know Arteta saw this, because, listen, everybody on the internet saw, Arsenal fans, myself, I don't know about you guys personally, but we all went absolutely mental at the Crystal Palace situation with Granit Xhaka over just about a year ago now, last season.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Arteta didn't see that. That was not even that long after Man City come and just beat us in the first 15 minutes. And then you come and tell me this guy deserves another chance. And then he goes and does that. He basically stabbed you in the back, which is the same thing Unai Emery did when he made that whole captain's business team, right? I kind of get the logic behind it, but I weren't really with it at the time. And they nominated Granit Xhaka to be the captain. And I said on my channel at the time, Emery's going to die on the sword for this, because I can already see it. And that was weeks before the Palace game. And then look what happened after that. Xhaka got stripped. Aubameyang was the captain next. And you know about it. And then no, he ain't. But that's another situation as well. And then look, Xhaka's back in, and then he's wearing the captaincy band certain times of the game. You think, what the hell was going on here? Again, it's just a circus. The captaincy is not relevant at this club. For me, the last captain that I admired when I was a kid was Patrick Vieira. I started supporting Arsenal at the back end of Tony Adams retiring. So I only got to see Adams like probably for a season. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but we ain't got no leaders in this team. That's just what it is.
Yeah, true.
Thing is,
we ain't gonna do shit.
How long have people been saying this for, though? It's another thing that I've been saying. You know, I remember Graham Souness saying there's no leaders in this team about 5 seasons ago, and yet we're still talking about it.
You know what it is? It's not even funny. I think Graham Souness said it originally, but Jamie Carragher said it. Oh, was it 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
When he said Arsenal were a team of son-in-laws. So what the footage is out of the fight. It was funny. It's not Monday Night Football. You even had Claudio Ranieri on there, but it said Arsenal were a team of son-in-laws. What man? What daughter would you want to bring a man like that back to meet you? Oh, it was funny. It was. I get what he was saying. It is. It's just they're not men, man. They're not men.
No.
It was funny at the time, but you look at it and think, you know what? It doesn't look good, man.
No, not at all. This is a good shout from Dizzy. Big up yourself, mate. Ralph Hasenhüttl. Would you guys make of him? Would you take him as Arsenal manager?
I'll let my dear friend answer that one.
Go on, right.
Why not? I'll give him a go. I mean, he's done well with Southampton so far, so good. Look, we all say, look how well he's done with Southampton after they got battered 9-0 against Leicester. And I mean, he's doing really, really well. I don't see why not. Again, we're going to use that word, experienced manager. So why not? I don't know why we didn't even attempt to go with him. I like the way Southampton play. They have an idea. They have a system. I mean, why not? I mean, at the end of the season, and more than likely, at the rate this is going, they're going to finish way above us, right? If this continues and they get themselves into European football, then yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. I mean, Hasenhüttl, definitely a shout. Definitely a shout.
What about you, Albert? Would you take him?
I mean, I'm open-minded to the idea. Like, he's done. To be fair, he's done well. People might question the fact that he's at Southampton. If he's at a bigger club, and lost 9-0, he probably wouldn't have a job still. But Southampton took the chance in it. So and he's done really well, man. He's got them. He's a German manager, so they're obviously gonna have them set up pretty well. He's got the players that he wants in that Southampton team and probably squad that will run through a brick wall for him. I'm not saying he's going to definitely be the answer, but I don't know if any Arsenal fans can give me a crime sheet of why he shouldn't be the manager, then drop in the chat now.
Yeah,
look at Danny Ings.
I personally wouldn't. I think, again, I want someone who's tried and tested. Yeah, he's having a good season, but a good season for me doesn't make him an elite manager. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why.
Yeah, it would be my first choice.
No. There's other.
It would be my first choice, but he's definitely.
Yeah, there's other viable options. There's other options more than him. Yeah. But the problem we've got is it's all well people saying no to a Poch or a Hasenhüttl or a Ten Hag or a Nagelsmann, but you have to understand something. If the ball that Arsenal have spent, it's not that Arsenal haven't spent money over the years, but the problem is we spent it badly, and on top of that, we was in a situation with Mikel Arteta before we took him on, that we took him on because he's a cheaper option. And if it wasn't for the fact that they bottled it the first time round and gave it to Emery, he would have got the job then.
We might be through this already.
Okay. GK, may I have you well. Recruitment is atrocious. I'm tired of hearing fans scream about money. I agree with you, mate. People say Kroenke needs to invest. He has done that. Pepe 70 odd, Lacazette 50 odd, Aubameyang was 60 odd, Ozil 45, Xhaka and Mustafi were 35 million each, Tierney was 25, Partey was 45. I mean, it's not like we haven't spent money. So the money has been there, and we've got 200 million in the bank. So
yeah, the recruitment is atrocious because the way you got to look at it with some of them players you mentioned, would they get into any of the top 5 sides?
Yeah.
No. Good Lord. Maybe Tierney, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe possibly.
There
wouldn't be many. There wouldn't be many.
No.
And then you get people like
probably about 3.
Sven Mislintat out of the club and then don't go with any of his recommendations and then just out him after about a year. It just doesn't make any sense.
He was supposed to have Edu's job. That's the joke. That's what Gazidis promised him. Gazidis cut around. Then they got Ralstonelli in, and then they promised Ralstonelli the thing, and then Mislintat. So what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I didn't blame Mr. Tuck for leaving. I was pissed when he left.
From what I remember of Edu, he was supposed to bring all these young up-and-coming Brazilian guys to Arsenal, wasn't he? And that's what I thought he was going to do. I mean, we started off with Martinelli, and then we were linked with, who was that winger? Was it Everton, Suarez? We almost bought him in the end. And kind of after that, we were linked with, I think, Gomes or something, ended up at Lyon. Didn't really happen. And then it just kind of went out after that, didn't it? There was no, where's the next Ronaldinho? Where's the next Ronaldo? Yeah, that's what he brought in for. That's what I thought.
We get linked with a lot of players, man, that I don't think they're even really viable options, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
It's because he's Brazilian.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because it's just because he's Brazilian. They think, oh, yeah, he's worked to the Brazilian national team. So you're just going to get bare links that are not even real connected to him. Do you know what I mean? That's like if we had Jose, we're going to get bare players that used to play for Jose linked with us. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what they do out here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, big up yourself, mate. Edu Gaspar has just tweeted that Mikel Arteta is doing a great job.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, we saw that.
I'd like to see him do a poor job. Jesus.
When Tony Adams was running them down.
Right in the chat. Go on, Ryan, Mr. Arsenal podcast.
Big up yourself, mate. All right, everyone. Yeah, how you doing, mate? All right. Can we count that as the dreaded vote of confidence? It sounds like one.
Probably.
I mean, apparently he's got another game or two to save his job against Southampton and Everton.
Well, I thought it was 2, including the game yesterday.
Yeah, well, I heard it was 3.
So did I, but...
So...
It's not looking good, man. that's what we do, though.
He'll be out after Chelsea, I guess. I really guess that's what it is.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke, man. This club clearly has no ambition whatsoever. We've been seeing that for years.
Yeah.
So
it started.
What do we expect anymore?
Started from 2006, mate.
Yeah, I think he's right. I think that is very confident. Yeah, go on, Ryan. Sorry.
I just think everything is flats now. Our history is flats now. That's exactly what it is. Do you know what I mean? I've got a West Ham fan as a mate, yeah, and he tells me he misses Upton Park because he don't see nothing that's going to happen. And now he's cheery and chap and happy because when he said to start the season, I want Moyes out, now he's seeing all this. It's like, oh, wow. Do you know what I mean? I can't feel that way about Arsenal.
I bet he still feels the same about the owners, though. Believe me.
He does.
And Brady, yeah.
I don't know who's worse, ours or theirs. I really don't know who's worse.
I think the Newcastle fans will jump in the queue before any of us, to be honest.
Yeah. To be fair,
Newcastle fans, I think bad. To be fair,
I think because of our history, I think that's why. But I mean, really, why didn't the board sack Wenger when we got smacked up 8-2? That was probably a good time to do it.
There's a lot of games he could have been moved on, mate.
There's a lot of games.
I mean, I said on our stream earlier, I wish we'd have gone for Klopp when he was available after he left Dortmund. For me, he should have
crying for Klopp.
And got Klopp while he's available. But this is what we're talking about, isn't it? These managers are available at the moment. You leave it a couple of months, they might not be. Man United might sack Solskjaer and then he's gone, or somebody else. Just someone from Europe might get sacked, like the PSG manager, or I think the Dortmund manager just got sacked, didn't he?
Yes, he's gone. Was it Favre? Was his name? Is it?
Yeah. So that job's available. So who's to say they won't take that job? It doesn't mean.
I think Poch will probably go for that job.
What, Dortmund?
Poch will probably go there. Yeah, I think I see Poch going to Dortmund. It's kind of a little set up for him. I don't really see Allegri doing that. I think Poch is more likely to get the Dortmund job. Yeah. That makes more sense. See what I'm saying? But, don't know, man.
Everyone wants to know the reason behind freezing out, but everyone is on the same page. But it depends on whether Edu and Arteta want to tell the fans. The fans are desperate to know what is going on.
You know what's going on.
It's what Arsenal do, though, isn't it? They don't really. There's no one there to sort of come out and talk to the fans and tell us what's going on. And ever since Kroenke's been involved, it's all sort of like, yeah, we just kind of carried on doing our own little thing, and we'll see where we end up in the season. There's no one really, taking control of the club, is there?
I think the only person that's even probably remotely, well, I wouldn't say he necessarily tried to open the eyes of fans. I know people have their views about Robin van Persie, but when he did write that letter, and we heard in the recent days about when, his last days at Arsenal, they're showing him books of the financial accounts, and he said, "I don't give a shit about the money that's coming in. I want to win trophies." He wanted to go Juventus, but no, they made it difficult for him. So he's either go to one of the Manchester clubs. He was the you can dislike Van Persie, you can despise him, and Snake, all the rest of it. That's fine, but one thing I do respect him for is he opened a lot of Arsenal fans' eyes to the truth, mate. And he left Arsenal.
People at the time wanted to hear it.
Yeah, and they still don't want to hear it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, what was I going to say?
You think so?
Things fell apart after match Ultra in 04-05. Yeah, it's kind of what you said. Was that the season we got hammered 8-2?
We'll have to go. Have to look back.
No, way after that.
For me, it started from 2006, man.
Yeah.
2005-06.
Yeah. Mesut Ozil still being frozen out. Arteta has already said that he's wanting to keep Saliba. Well, I've heard
he's not showing us that.
So
it's not bad at all.
There's many things. He said he wants to introduce him he wants to basically admitted he effed up on Saliba and he wants to bring him in. I think it was the press conference before we played Dundalk. Go back to that. I think that's when he said it. I remember him speaking on it. So, but for me, I'm just like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. We don't know if Saliba's going to do well. That's one thing. But at the same time, I'd rather see him in the team than Rob Holding.
Yeah,
Mustafi.
I don't understand that.
Consistency has not.
That's why my theory comes out. He wants to sell him on, get some money, and get his own players in, because it just doesn't make any other sense. Why would you do it? I can't believe he's that bad. Mustafi, Holding, Chambers, who's been injured up until now, Pablo Marie, who's been injured until now. Offered David Luiz a new contract after when that first came back into Man City, he got sent off and gave away a penalty. There's no other logical reason for me other than he wants to sell him and get some money for him to get his own guys in. But,
sell Xhaka, the one you trust so much. Please, God Lord, and Bellerin, your son, sell him. He's not good enough. He ain't been good enough for about 5 years. Where's the development? And I'm getting fans. Oh, he's been injured. He weren't good before that, though.
No,
was he? No.
I'd
rather take Debuchy. I ain't even like Debuchy, but I'd rather take his half back. It's a joke.
Players won't play for Arteta. Players tried their hardest, but I generally think players are losing faith. For example, David Luiz, Granit Xhaka, Hector Bellerin. Well, to be honest with you,
they're just trash.
Yeah,
sorry,
they're free get binned anyway. So
yeah,
it's all kicking off in the chat. Smash the like up, guys! If you haven't already, subscribe if you're new. It's all kicking off. If Arteta gets sacked, I would rather have Wenger back than Sam Allardyce.
I wouldn't have any of them.
No, not for me, mate.
No.
Wenger's ship has sailed, and in my opinion,
A long time ago.
He would never sort our defence out, and it's still a problem today. I mean, if he'd have sorted the defence out, I reckon he'd probably still be Arsenal manager now. That's my thoughts about it. And what's it been? Has it been 3 years now since he's been gone? 3 years?
If it's down to some Arsenal fans, Wenger will still be there till he's about 150.
Wenger get us relegated for all they care, mate, as long as we're playing attacking football. No, I wouldn't have it back.
I think it's just a style they miss. Don't get me wrong, I do miss the pass and move football, but the areas were not addressed. And when you look at Arsene Wenger and you strip everything down, he had George Graham's back foot. He just gave those guys extra life with the fitness stuff and just taking the drinking culture out of it, right? And he just gave them new life. And then once Adams retired, Dixon retired, Keown retired, obviously Whitburn left. And then we had like Sol Campbell, who was kind of around those guys. He eventually went Kodo Torre, then he eventually left. Well, he was still there, really. And then got guys like Gallas, Ashley Cole left, Lauren left. You could just see it. Like, he was just good going forward. The defense took care of itself because they had that George Graham defensive mentality. Yeah. That's just what it was. Once you took that from Wenger, you saw Wenger exposed. Why do you think we didn't go and get a decent centre back for so long? Do you know what I mean? It took till probably now to see Gabriel and Tierney. Yeah. I hated Clichy. I hated Gibbs. I'm sorry, Gibbs, but I couldn't be bothered anymore. I'm being real. I couldn't stand those guys. Sanya was okay. I'm a bit cold and hot and cold with Sanya, but
yeah, same here.
A bit hot and cold than him, but sorry guys, I don't know how you guys feel.
No, it's fine. I mean,
it's all right, man. It's all right.
When Wenger first came in, he had Vieira and Petit in the centre of midfield. Then Petit went off to Barcelona, and he had Gilberto come in, and that to the defence. And he kind of abolished that. It's like he got mesmerised with what Guardiola did. That thing, and he wanted to get like the Harlem Globetrotters of football. He changed his style, and that it just completely fucked up. I mean, going to what you were saying right there on the defenders, I can count on one hand the amount of defenders that he bought that were any good. I mean, Cole came through the youth systems. You can't really say that. Torre he bought and made him into centre back. He was decent. Lauren was okay. Other than that, mate, I'm struggling.
He was a right mid.
People say
was a right mid.
I don't know him.
Yeah, Lauren was on job though, right back, man.
Yeah. I mean, he killed at Mallorca when we bought him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holden has to go before Lever goes. The other players, especially Mustafi and Kolasinac. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for them guys to leave. I mean, Arteta actually offered Mustafi, if you don't know, a new contract, and he turned it down. Thank fuck he did. That's all I can say.
Then he got made captain the other day. Well, he got given the captain's armband. It's unbelievable, honestly. For a player that doesn't want to be here.
Crazy.
Maybe sick.
Go on, Mr. Arsenal podcast.
In my opinion, if Arteta is sacked, Allegri is my first choice. Yeah, mine too. Totally agree, mate. He won't take any of this bullshit and won't have favourites and try to be their mates. Yeah, that's what we need. We need someone to come in like Mourinho and just be fucking ruthless, you know?
It is, Ross, but the problem is it's the board, mate.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why they said he was arrogant the first time. Man. It's not arrogant, is it? No, it's not. It's not. I agree, it's not.
But obviously,
they just want another Wenger. That's what it was.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Wenger was arrogant towards the end, the last few years. Refused to change his style. Refused to drop certain players. Refused to get any leaders in the team. You know, and we just went around in circles. It was just like Groundhog Day, kind of what it's like now, really. To be fair,
that's true.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the manager or the players' fault for being frozen out? That's the main question.
Both.
Probably both, yeah.
Yeah. It's a two-way street.
I'd rather have a leg.
The Wenger thing people need to let
go. Why do you want Wenger back so bad? I don't get it. He's only won 3 league titles in his whole 22-year reign. Let's be honest, guys.
He was a part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, you make a point. You know, a lot of people will take issue with what you said, but you're right. I mean, when people talk about it's going to be, this might probably, I'll probably lose about 500 subscribers because of it. But no, Ryan, you make a point because you're not only one to say that. Where some Arsenal fans say, if Wenger was, I don't know what's the word I would use, elite, he should have won a lot more titles at Arsenal than he should have got, man.
And he should have.
I think he should have
won that title after the.
So, to me, he should have got at least double that. At least. So no, I understand why you say that. I don't think there's anything wrong to say that. I think if you look at it for the length of time, and no European trophy, madness.
This is what I'm saying. I just think the Invincible season has covered his back for so long. Don't get me wrong, I loved every second of it because I remember going to school and saying, we're going to win again. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Now and then throughout my whole secondary school life at the time, I was getting battered, bro. I remember Carabao Cup final, Walcott, that whole shebang situation. I thought, okay, I'm scared of Jose, but we're going to do it. Nope. Didn't do it. Champions League final, didn't do it. Everything, everything.
For
After bottle, Birmingham League Cup final.
For the length of time he's at the club, he should have won more than double the league titles he won, most definitely.
His first 10 years were great. It was his second 10 years, not for me. You know, I mean, do you know what? As well, he had fascination with putting wingers as strikers and strikers as wingers, and I just never understood that.
Yeah,
it worked once with Thierry Henry.
Because it worked with Henry, kind of
one off.
It's true.
You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's very mental. I mean, like for me, Walcott, I feel he wasted his career on the wing. He was a striker at Southampton, and there was a couple of times when we won a couple of FA Cups where he put him up front a few times, and he played really well. On the wing, I just felt he was wasted. I don't know.
And you see what he done in it when his contract was up. When his contract was up for negotiation, innit? Wenger thought, let me put him up front for a couple of games, get him to sign the contract, and then stick him back out on the right wing again. That's what he done. Yeah.
Allegra's my guy. I think he would do bits here. Like I said, he won't pick players that will let him down or are crap, etc. Yeah, completely agree, mate.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
This is a good comment. Emery caused this whole situation. I disagree, mate. I don't think he caused it. I don't think he helped, but I think he tried. But I don't think he's to blame for the whole situation.
No, it's a culmination of Wenger's latter years and the previous regime, and even the current regime at hierarchy level.
Yeah,
because they blame Emery. I'm confused by that.
They talk about like having. They talk about having. Sorry, Ryan. They talk about having footballing men on the board, but it's no secret David O'Leary was thought of to have a more sort of senior position on the board back in November last year. But then Mr. Snelly put pay to that and said no.
I think he's here now.
Well, he's gone now. Exactly. Get him back. I didn't even put Adams on there. He's out here cussing all the time. I'd rather get Adams and O'Leary on there. Sorry. These guys know what it means to play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, I think Adams is one of those guys, ex-Arsenal pros, who's banished from Arsenal because he says what he really thinks. He doesn't go, Arsenal doing okay and stuff. He actually tells it as it is and says, no, it's not good enough and the players are crap and it all needs changing. But I think that's what Arsenal do. If you
he doesn't work with the club.
Sorry?
Is he actually banished? Sorry, Albert. Sorry, Ross. Because I heard that before. Someone told me that before. And I was like, huh?
Yeah, I think a few of them are.
Yeah.
I think a few of them are like if they start speaking their minds and saying that all these things are wrong with the club. Like I think Emmanuel Petit's another one, isn't he? And they don't really allow him to
come
back.
Yeah, because you don't give a shit. That's why.
Straight, because he knows what it takes to win at this club.
Yeah.
So
he's been very critical of Arsenal.
He still loves the club.
Yeah, he's been consistent.
Big up yourself, mate. You're Arsenal Central, well, mate. Why are you laughing? Be ashamed. It is not something to laugh about. Yes, it's being bad. It's terrible, but laughing at ourselves is just depressing. I don't think we're laughing at like that.
I'll let you answer that first. I'll come on to that afterwards.
I don't think it's like we're laughing, that it's funny. I think it's just the point that it's gone on for so long now that we don't know what else to do. We've gone past the stages of the initial anger, to just hope, and it's gone on for like 10 years plus now. It's to the point where you have to kind of almost laugh, otherwise you'll cry, sort of thing, because we always, as supporters, want what's best for the club, and we're sick of seeing what our club is turning into. So we're not laughing like it's funny. We're laughing because we don't know what else to say or do anymore. Go on there, Albert.
Yeah, what I'll say to that comment, I did see it earlier in the chat. Like, firstly, like us as Arsenal fans, we love the club and whatever. But let me tell you something now. They're not going to ruin my Christmas. They're not going to ruin my day. I'm not going to be shedding any tears over them. I'm not happy with what I've seen. Been an Arsenal fan a long, long time, and way before Arsene Wenger days. So I can assure you, we're not laughing because we're jumping for joy. I don't take no pleasure in seeing other rival football fans who do YouTube who are just ridiculing Arsenal and making content based off the back of Arsenal and their pathetic display on and off the pitch. I don't find that funny. So that's my answer to that statement.
There you go for Ryan.
I'll quickly touch on it. I mean, you guys pretty much said it best. For me, it's funny because you look at how big our club is and how historic our club is, and it's been run by puppets. The Muppets, Kermit the Frog could come and do a better job than Stan Kroenke. That is the joke. It is so obvious what we see on the pitch. We're all saying things before it happens, and it happens. Like I said in your show earlier, I said, look, man, seeing the same thing, the same mistakes that we are allowing when we're playing Wolves, Leicester, Burnley, and Spurs. Game in, game out. They're going to use the same tactics. My man's all forcing it. No, we got to do this. When there's no creativity. Emil Smith-Rowe's on the bench, not doing nothing. The owners, they employed Mikel Arteta, a man that's inexperienced. But we've been crying out for a man to come and take control in this football club, right? And get those guys out of the squad, bringing some guys that are actually going to come in and do a job. On top of that, they've let us suffer. And I'm going to say this really nicely because, listen, it'll probably pain me, the little boy inside me, no pun intended, Robin Percy, that, I'm cussing Arsene Wenger now, but I'm always grateful for the memories he gave me when I was younger. But he should have went a long, long time ago. And I feel like a lot of fans are still clutching on to the moments that he gave us. And listen, I do love those moments, like I said, but he had to go. I just didn't like the way it had to be, but he needed to go. We should have got someone else in. And then who knows, maybe something could have happened by now. All this stuff that we're going through now should have happened 5 or 6 years ago, right? Let's be real. But it's laughable the way the club's been run. The recruitment is awful. We've been saying it for so long. You touched on it earlier with the amount of players and the money that's been spent. And it's awful. And guys all saying how we should spend money on 50, 60 mil on this player, that player, whatever. And it's like, what if they come in and they still do poo? Then what? Then we're going to lose about 20, 30 mil on them. And then what? Remember, you wanted them. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. Our fan base is in circles half the time. Arteta in, Arteta out, Emery in, Emery out, Wenger in, Wenger out. But really, like I said to you guys earlier, it's the board. That's what we really should be focusing on. They are the people that hire everybody below them who mismanage this club and take advantage of this club. So until we do something with the owners, we're not doing nothing. And it pains me because I've been saying this for years now. It's the owners. But, it's quick to get at the manager because the manager is what's controlling what's on the pitch. And, I am Arteta out anyways. But it's easy for that to be said because we're not seeing it on the pitch. Because, again, the owners are not employing the right type of appointment. We needed an experienced manager to help us get out of this dreadful, I don't even know what to call it, trash can football, right? We're not seeing that. They go and get Arteta, who is a number 2 at best, who should have been either in La Liga 2, picking up Malaga, or something like a club like that, or in the Championship, managing, I don't know, Brentford or Roehampton or something. I don't know. But he should not be at Arsenal Football Club. There's a reason Everton didn't go for him. Why? Because Everton have ambition. They have someone that was on our board who wanted to spend the money that he's been spending at Everton for Carlo Ancelotti at Everton. And we have Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
And that's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, well said, mate. Well said.
Yes,
funny. It's pain. So,
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I agree exactly what you said with Wenger there. I'll always be thankful for his first 10 years and what he gave us and the dream about moving to the Emirates Stadium, because at the time it was a good thing. It's a shame what it's turned into, but I believe he's getting a statue outside the Emirates. And although I hated him towards the end because of what he was doing and the last few years, I agree that he deserves a statue. I do. He won 3 titles, a couple of doubles, got to the Champions League final of the year that we should have won it. He revolutionized football and transfers. I don't care what you say, he did. He brought us to the Emirates to compete with the best. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And I do thank him for that, and the unbeaten, league season. I mean, it's never been done before, so, or not, well, actually, I think it did, didn't it, like years ago or something, but still, it's still pretty special in modern day football. So, yeah.
Mm.
I can read a few more of these out before we wrap it up in a few minutes. Brendan Rodgers, yep, I'd take him.
Yeah.
Not Ralph, no, I wouldn't take him either. Allegri's my number one.
Mm.
The agent of David Luiz, William Cedric is the main reason why we have these terrible players.
Yep, Kia's right.
100%. 100%.
I don't want the next Ronaldo. I don't want the next Ronaldo next anything. There can't be a next someone or so forth. Oh, shit. I'm sure these are. If we don't win on Wednesday, do you think he will be sacked?
No.
I hope so. I don't think he will be.
I don't think he will.
I said yes on your channel, but deep down I knew it was going to be a no. So, yeah.
I think if
No.
like I said, I think he'd be lucky to make it into the new year. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think if he loses every game,
if you go straight defeats in the league, 3 games in a row now.
If he loses against Southampton, Everton, Man City in a cup, Chelsea, and then Brighton, I mean, his position's like
it'd be toast, mate.
And I'll be honest with you, I think I can see him losing them all. I can't see him winning any of them. So,
well, I see us getting battered by Chelsea these days.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd be sacked.
And Everton. No.
What game do you think he'll be sacked on then? Like, what game? If he was to lose them all, like, when would you think he'd get sacked? When do you think Arsenal pull the trigger?
It would have to be Chelsea. I mean, I can't. Would they leave it till Brighton away, 29th of December?
I will say this though: it will be so fitting if it was Everton. Why do you think I'm saying that? Think about it. Why am I saying Everton if it was Everton?
The club he's a club legend at, but they didn't want him.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared to take the risk
also
of him.
And also to that, remember that was the last time we played Everton. Where was we? We were playing them away, right? At Goodison, right?
And that's that terrible 0-0 game, yeah.
And what was Arteta doing? And what was Everton?
He's in the stands. He's in the stands, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
ironic.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Remember, he pushed through a deadline day move to Arsenal, didn't he? I remember watching Sky Sports and
Andre Santos.
Yeah, I remember the.
I was thinking that guy's name, please.
It was on, then it was off. Then he said to Everton, he said, "I want to go to Arsenal," and he went, didn't he? And he had the medical at Everton, and
yeah.
If we don't win, Arteta will not be sacked. Edu, believing in him. The fans have had enough. Personally, I've had enough. Yeah, I can agree more, mate.
I think they both need to go. I'm sorry, Edu, but yeah, you got to go, mate. So,
Jay Johns, pick up yourself, mate. Roger would be a good appointment. I agree. I would take him. What about you guys? You take him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with Brendan Rodgers.
We should have had him for a month when Wenger left. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, he would definitely sort out straight away. He would not have Aubameyang playing the way he's playing at the moment.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. Look at Vardy.
Yep, 100%.
I know I'm big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Only Big Sam Allardyce can save us now. What do you guys say to that? Would you take him at the moment for the interim manager?
No.
Not for an interim. I'll take Rafa Benitez as interim.
Yeah.
No way. Big Sam could stay with that.
I can't see it happening somehow, but
no, I can't.
It's all right.
In this sport, they'll probably give us Eddie Howe instead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a free agent, isn't he? Bellerin's always been shit. He can't even take a throw. Couldn't agree more, mate. I've never rated him.
I can't understand that. How can you not take a throw?
Yeah, and you know the funny thing is, I actually don't think AZ Maitland-Niles can either.
Yeah.
I've seen him being pulled up for. Fucking hell, man. Honestly.
James looks better than Bellerin. Probably.
Way.
Thanks, mate. Big up yourself.
Do you know what? I'll quickly say this. You see the Europa League game? Did you see Karen Karen Kearney or Connie, I can't remember her name.
She always commentating our games, yeah.
She kept watching Arsenal's throw-ins, and Cedric made one foul throw. She was like, "Look, there you go, first one." When she said that, I just thought, I just want to turn the game off now. No one can take a throw in.
It is unbelievable. I can't understand that the professional footballers can't take a throw in properly.
And Liverpool had a throwing coach. I laughed at that at one point.
Embarrassing.
I apologize. Yeah, they did. Yeah. They had a throwing coach.
I mean, I think it's something like there's 16 foul throws in the Premier League this season. He's got 5 of them, Bellerin, and no other player's got more than 1. That's what I've heard, anyway.
Wow.
I mean, 5 already. 13. If I owes a club called Granite Xhaka FC, I still wouldn't sign Xhaka. Realistically, considering the wage, which club would actually take the likes of Mustafi, Socrates, Lacazette, West Bromwich Albion? I don't think that they'd even take him, to be fair.
I think Lacazette can get a better move. One of those.
Well, they said about him, the Roma interest was actually true, wasn't it, in the summer? But
what's that out?
Okay, I think we look
could have been good for a cap.
Well, mate. I think we look too much at ex-players, legends to fix the club. Yes, Kroenke is an issue, but that's pure money. The footballing men he hired signs crap players. Yeah.
What I would say to that comment, just quickly, is if you've seen with my stuff, that I don't want any ex-Arsenal players to be associated with this club at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Nope.
Unless there was an ex-Arsenal player who's been like a top manager for 10 years, but there isn't. So, yeah.
No.
How did a player of Buendia's quality get overlooked? Well, this is what we've touched on your channel, haven't we, Albert?
Yeah, it's a mixture of two things. In regards to sections of the fan base, I'm saying sections because I'm not obviously accusing all of them. There's a snobbery there in terms of the reason why fans turn their nose up at players that are quality but don't play for a top 6 or top 10 club or a top 3 or 4 club in Europe. That's the issue in terms of the fans. But in terms of the clubs, what us as fans want and what the board are actually looking at are 2 completely different things, man. It very rarely gets met in the middle. Very rarely.
Yeah. It is a snobbery amongst Arsenal fans. I think we've said it before that these players just get overlooked. There's good quality players at lower league, Premier League clubs, and they just get overlooked because they're not like a fancy name. Like
100%.
Comment. I don't want to war, but everyone thinks he's that creative midfielder we need. But he's not creative at all. He looks amazing in Europe, but in the league he's inconsistent.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we put his stats up on one of my other streams the other day, and his stats were actually pretty good for assists and goals. So. And he's still only 22, so some of his stats and goals when he was like 19, 20, so.
I want to give a shout out to my guy, man. I keep mentioning Eberi Eze 22 as well.
Oh, what
just saying.
I like Eze.
I saw him hit the post against Spurs.
It is 60, you know what I mean, Ryan, £16 million, right? And he was touted before for Premier League clubs as well, but £16 million, £4 million in add-ons. You know what I mean? QPR are not stupid, put a 20% sell-on clause. You're going to be laughing, mate.
Yeah.
If a Premier League club doesn't come in for him in the next 2 years, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. It doesn't spend 50 million plus for signing Leicester. Don't sell players and find adequate replacements. That's not me saying we should be a selling club, by the way. Yeah, you're right. You don't have to spend 50 million pounds on every player. Absolutely.
What did Leicester pay for James Maddison? Let me try and find out. Keep talking. I'm going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, like you said there. I mean, I remember when people were saying, "Oh, we haven't got money for players," and people weren't expecting Arsenal to go out and spend like 50, 60, 70 million pounds on players like in a season's gone past. It was just get somebody in who's actually good enough to do the job.
Yeah.
It just
it's 100%.
It's that simple. It's
typical.
Let me see if I can find out how much they paid for him before we go.
Official 49, big up yourself, mate. I hope you're well. I would take the IRB Leipzig manager. That's one we talked about earlier, wasn't it? Nagelsmann. I said no. I don't think he's proven enough yet.
No, he needs more time in it. He needs more time.
But I know a lot of people would. I would take Leipzig manager, yeah. And sign Ericsson on loan just in case. Yeah, I'd take him. Would you not, Ryan?
You know what? I don't know because he just doesn't look like the same. Even in Spurs last season, he just didn't look that interested anymore. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to be very hard to find the Christian Eriksen of the past to come into an Arsenal side that don't even look like they know themselves, let alone anything about the league. And quickly touch on the OR and Szoboszlai. Neither of them are going to come because I'm hearing that Szoboszlai is going to go Leipzig, and OR, when he heard PSG, he kind of thought, I'll have to wait for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the guy just put out. Yeah, I was going to say 22 million for James Maddison. They bought him for.
We could have got Grealish cheap as well.
Yeah.
You make a good point. You know about Szoboszlai. I don't know if you saw it, Ryan. Ornstein tweeted about 10:15, saying that he's not. I think he said he's not made his mind up, but clubs have got to. I think the end of December.
December something.
Yeah, if they want to.
Yeah, I think it's like just after Christmas or something.
But you're right. It's not going to come. We're not going to get rid of him.
No, not at all.
No.
This is a player that we were linked with as well, wasn't it? Soyuncu.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
And we took Socrates instead. That hurt me, man. Ugh. Yuck.
And Xiongchu's only young.
Socrates.
Yeah. Or Coutinho, because he's
still got
sparking him like we saw in Champions League last season in the Bundesliga. Well, this is it. I mean, last season we could have had him for £7 million on loan. £7 million.
The wage.
It's pocket money.
The money, though. It's just.
But
I think the wages. Yeah, but they wanted Dybala instead, and so they kind of held off the whole deal. And I think even Man United tried to go after that too, but they obviously wanted Bruno, and they ended up getting him in January. So, why did we look at Fernandes? I didn't understand why we didn't. That made no sense to me.
We don't look at a lot of players, mate. To be fair, we just what Arsenal do is, like most football clubs do, they'll inquire about a footballer. Arsenal did it with Jack Grealish. They asked about him. That's it. There wasn't no big. They just asked about him. That was it. And then their papers will run with that. Arsenal fans will just will bite at it. They'll take the bait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys. I'm going to wrap this stream up because I think it's getting on a bit now. I think it's gone after midnight.
Midnight stream, right?
Cool part.
Guys, smash the like,
subscribe,
the notifications bell on. We're going to do that streams every day and new content. I just want to finish off, guys, with letting the viewers know who you would take for the next manager's job, and tell the guys where they can find you as well. Go for Albert.
I would take Poch personally. I don't think it happened though, but yeah, thanks for having me on again, bro. Albert J TV, Arsenal content, football related content in general as well. My Twitter handle's on the screen as well. So follow me on Twitter and subscribe to the channel.
Cool. And Ryan?
It's a tough one because, like I said, I only know Allegri's CV, but I look at Poch only because of what he's done with that Tottenham team in the last 5 years. He's worked with them when they were pretty fragile, and he's got them up. So I'm probably gonna have to go with Poch, lean into Poch, but Allegri would definitely be my choice. So it's a bit split. So I can't choose. I have to go with one.
well, yeah,
go with
but,
one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, you know what? All right, I'll just bite the bullet. I'm gonna say Allegri. And Twitter handle at RJ Wills, and my YouTube is Ryan Williams AFC.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Me personally, I'll have Allegri, but I'd also take Poch, Brendan Rodgers, Simeone, or Benitez. Any one of those five.
All of them.
Thanks for coming on again, guys. Really appreciate it, especially this so
Yeah, nice one, man. Hit the likes, guys, man. Hit the likes.
Thanks for their back, bro.
Yeah, go subscribe to these guys' channels as well if you haven't already. We move on to Southampton at home on Wednesday.
Oh, God.
Until then, see you later.